to be exactly who you are.
I don't complain. I hold my head up, pushing through the pain.
You don't know what you really need. Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Tonight on the show, we're interviewing a musician who's been around the fandom since 2012, but just recently started gaining attention in the last year with a slew of well-produced rock, piano, and even ambient songs. That's right. Tonight, we're interviewing the talented Tenderflutter, and he joins us here now.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome!
Hello, Tenderflutter.
Thank you guys, thank you.
And how are you doing tonight?
Oh, everything alright.
So can you tell us where you're joining us from tonight?
Oh, I'm joining you from Argentina.
Argentina.
From way down south.
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
Way down south in Argentina?
All the way south.
Awesome.
Yeah, take that, all you southern country singers. Tender has you beat.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's not like he's in America. Oh, wait.
He's so in America.
Well, he's technically in America.
America do Sul.
I know, I was just being ironic.
We know. You tried hard. You gave it your best effort, and we
Yeah.
forgive you for that.
We give you a gold sticker.
Why not a banana sticker?
Alright, fine. A golden banana sticker.
Yay!
So, Tender, how are you doing tonight?
Very good, very good. I'm a little nervous, you know. I said to you before we started the show that it's the first time ever I talk with someone in English.
The first time.
First time ever.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, your English is pretty good for a first time.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, thank you.
And you seem to understand us okay, so kudos.
Yeah,
And don't be too nervous. Our audience is much more judgmental than us, so
Yeah, they really are.
Oh, yeah.
oh, I feel
I'm just kidding.
oh, I feel so much comfortable now.
Oh, yes.
It's alright, they barely speak any English either. So you're good.
Snowblitz is the worst at English, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I heard a little bit of Portuguese from Lunatics.
Pouco de português, sim.
Poco de português.
É isso.
Lunajax appears to be full of surprises. So, Tenderflutter, for those of you who don't, or for those of the people in the chat who don't know your music, or you, or anything about you, tell us a little bit about you and your music.
Well, I am more into the acoustic rock thing.
Acoustic rock, you say?
Yeah, acoustic rock. But I have heard these bands as U2, Coldplay, British rock.
Oh, some British rock. So, for those of us who aren't that educated in rock music, which actually probably isn't quite as many as I think there are, but for those of us who aren't quite familiar with it, how is acoustic rock different from normal rock, or at least the rock that most people would think of?
I think it's just the acoustic guitar.
It just has an acoustic guitar in it.
No,
That's an accurate description.
Pretty much.
Very accurate.
no, I think that it's the presence of course, the acoustic guitar and the drums. The not the digital drums, but the more like the real drums, and well, the electric guitar with the gain boosted.
Nice.
So there you go. If you're producing rock and you want to be original and special, then throw an acoustic guitar in.
Yeah.
And then you're a special pony.
I miss Forrest.
I know. I do too.
I'm sorry, that wasn't a slide at you. It's just Forrest and I have a thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm impeding on this special thing that you guys have going. I'm sorry.
It's not the same. It really isn't the same.
I'm sorry. So, Tenderflutter, why pony music?
Well, because I like ponies.
Okay, that's kind of an obvious answer. Then how about this question? Why ponies? Like, what got you into the show and producing music about the show?
Back in 2012, it was my first contact with the show. I watched it, let me remember, The first Daring Do episode was the first ever I saw, and I like it so much.
Oh, Read It and Weep.
Exactly that one, Read It and Weep. And several weeks later, I started looking up on the internet about those PMVs and everything like that. And I said, wow, this fandom is creative, very creative. And I heard the music too. And I was really, really impressed about it. And I wanted to be part of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Were you producing music before the fandom?
Before the fandom, I had 3 or 4 songs on another channel, an old channel.
Oh, out on your old YouTube channel.
Yeah, a very unknown YouTube channel. You see, I have studied music at the college, and I have been in several bands here in my city.
Excellent.
Nice. And what actually got you into music originally?
Quite a long story. Oh, that begins with my dad. I always that people ask me about how got me into music. I named my dad because he had lots and lots of records here in our house, and he was a very big fan of the Beatles.
Oh, the Beatles.
And we had lots of record of them, and huge and extensive library of music. And probably that's what got me into music. The amount of music that I heard when I was a child, I probably think that was.
That's excellent. So music's been a part of your life since a very young age.
Yeah. I remember being 5 year old, and instead of playing with my computer, I lay down on the sofa and put the records for my dad and just listen to it.
And while listening to all this music while growing up, at what point did you say you wanted to write music, and how did you get started into actual music production?
I think very, very late. I was 19 years old when I finally decided to get seriously into music. I know I studied music since I was 10 years. I probably took it as a child play. I don't know, but when I was 19, I realized that it could be a thing.
And how old are you now?
Dum dum dum. I am 27.
Oh, wow.
It's the same age as Forrest.
So then you've been working in production for a while now then, haven't you?
Yeah, for a while. I got my recording stuff when I was, I know, like 5 years ago.
Who would you say has been your biggest inspiration in your music production?
Well, that's a difficult question because I have no one special who brought me into the music production. I could name one of my teachers in college.
Oh, so college actually helped you with music. That's good. My college never helped me with music.
See, you're going to the wrong college then, Fretzy.
Clearly, I need to move down to Argentina and take college there, obviously.
Apparently.
You could come down and play with me.
Yeah, don't go to an American college. Wait, they are still America.
Eh,
I'm just gonna stop now.
Yeah,
you keep failing every time.
You're
failed me.
pushing it.
I know.
But yeah, that's interesting because often the musicians that come on EOH haven't been producing music for very long. A lot of them started just before the fandom, or sometimes a lot of them actually started when finding the fandom, and then they picked it up then. But you've been doing it for quite a few years now, so you have some background.
Yeah, I have some background.
Music is best background, Pony.
Yeah, it is.
So, were you already in college before you transitioned into music, or did you end up deciding as you started college you're gonna do music?
I actually was in college when I decided to start my music career. Yes, I was studying another very different thing, and I decided that it wasn't the thing I wanted to do the rest of my life, and I think that I made the right choice because I now work with several bands and not playing for fun, just for fun. They actually hire me to go and play outside of the town and traveling and stuff.
What was your previous option? As in, yeah, what were you studying before you were a musician?
I'm trying to find the words in English for them. I probably could be like a social communication or something like that. It's like I can't find the word for it.
What is it in Spanish? I can probably translate it.
Periodismo.
Slower.
Periodismo.
Periodismo. Nope, that one isn't a cognate of a Portuguese word. I lied. I can't help you.
Well, you gave it your
Got it,
best
got
effort,
it,
and
got
we
it.
appreciate it.
I got it. Journalism.
There you are.
Oh.
Oh, periodismo. Yeah, okay, never mind. You're right.
Oh,
journalism. Okay. I really need to get my sister to teach me Spanish because I don't know.
Oh, this is a good thing because we're practically journalists right now interviewing you.
Now, this brings up a question, though, language question. Do you watch My Little Pony dubbed, or do you watch it in English, or a combination of both?
Ooh.
What's it in English, actually?
So you get the real deal. You get the true stuff with the real voices.
I prefer the English version because it's awesome, you know.
We know.
The real version.
We'd not be here if it were not awesome.
I have actually been surprised at how many people I talk to who usually their first language is something like Russian or Spanish or something else that MLP has been dubbed into, but most of them do watch the English one. I get that a lot, actually.
Well, it's because of a lot of the jokes don't translate very well.
Exactly, that's the real problem about translating. In my case, into the Latino version of it, a large amount of jokes lose they're lost in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly the words also get changed around too. Like if you're watching a Spanish version of MLP or a Japanese, like the lines are switched around differently
Mm-hmm.
than how they're said in the original.
Yeah, but I think the main reason, because of what the English version is for the voice actors. The voice acting is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of translating, I do notice with your songs, and because you obviously write lyrics for your songs and you sing them yourself, I don't really notice any broken English in your lyrics. They always come through really clear. The meaning's always the meaning's beautiful, but it comes through clearly. So do you write your songs in Spanish and then translate it over, or do you write them directly into English?
Actually, I write them in English.
Yeah, it's interesting, because I've met a few people who will record, or at least sing, write. Wow, I cannot find the right word. Record, sing, write, bleh. Will write their songs in other languages, then translate them. But I actually don't hear too many people who have another first language other than English, who will write directly into English.
This is awesome.
So you say that you haven't heard any broken English in my song, and that's such a relief to me.
Yeah, no, I'm just going through the lyric of the song that we're about to play here, and you would never know that English was not your first language. It's very poetic and flows very nicely, so commendable job. In fact, I think we ought to go into our first song here. We're going to play Little AJ by Tenderflutter, and you're listening to Elements of Harmony on Canterlot Hill.
Oh, little AJ, looking at the clouds, you see their faces. Awake but dreaming, you can hear a voice calling your name. Cheerful smiles and sunny days when life was a simple game. Let me wipe away your fear. Oh, little AJ, summer apple tree, dew of the morning. Oh, little AJ, be honest with yourself, don't hide and cry. In this crazy world, one thing is sure, you know that we care for you. Apple of my eye, come here. Let me wipe away your fear.
Oh man, that drum.
Mm-hmm.
I had to rock out. I had to rock out to that, just like that whole song. I really like those drums.
I loved how everything felt so intentional.
It really was. It sounds familiar to me. I don't know why, but this song sounds very familiar to me.
Well, you've probably listened to it before.
No, like it sounds like an original song that I know, but I don't remember.
But it's really reminiscent. You can tell that there's a lot of Beatles influence in there,
You can definitely tell. You can definitely tell.
which is a good thing, a very good thing.
Oh, of course, because Beatles was always great with their songs, like from out through the late 50s through the 70s.
So, if you're just tuning in with us, that was Little AJ by Tenderflutter. And Tenderflutter was inspired a little bit by the Beatles? Because I know you grew up with a lot of Beatles records.
I think a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, a lot. Not only the Beatles, but Oasis too.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Oasis.
Oh, no wonder why I can. All right, there we go.
So, Tender, if you can walk us through, what led you to make this song? Like, what inspired the lyrics, the style that you chose to do it in, etc.?
Oh, the lyrics. Let's go to the lyrics first. As I said before, when I got the chance to talk you about my my parents, I did, because I think that the most important thing that one person has in life is the family. That's why I feel related to AJ, to Applejack. That thing about the unity of the family and all that stuff, and that's why what inspired me to write the lyrics of this song.
Oh wow, that's nice how that ties together.
Yep, and well, the music, it's like a Beatle. It comes all together, the thing about my parents and the Beatles. I see that as a whole thing. I can't separate the Beatles from my dad. I just can't.
That's really cool. That opens up a whole new understanding for me about this song for you, just how it relates to your family, and that's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to say I was reading the description about the moral of the story, being about working hard and being strong, because there's always someone depending upon you, but never forget the ones who loved you, even though life seems to get harder day by day. I think that really comes through in the music. You can just feel it.
Also, you can never have too many songs about best main 6.
Debatable.
That's actually a good question, Tender. You did mention that, you related a lot to AJ. Is she your favorite of the main 6?
You will be surprised. My favorite is Rarity.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
good choice.
And I liked you so much.
Are we really gonna do this?
I mean, Rarity's not my favorite, but she's a really good pony.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, guys.
Hey, you said moving on. Where are we moving
Yeah,
on to?
I don't know where we're moving on to.
Where are we moving?
Well, I do actually have a question that I've been wanting to ask Tenderflutter. Is there a theme you have going with some of your recent songs? I noticed little AJ has this beautiful picture that you picked of Applejack nice up and close, set her eyes and stuff. And then another song that you made right after, March of the Outcasts, had a very similar pic right up to Luna's eyes. Is there a theme going on here?
Yes, the eyes. Look into my eyes. Come walk by my side.
Oh, so it's like a feeling you're going for.
Yeah, I want it to be a theme in my next songs. The eyes.
Maybe you can make a whole name the album after the eyes.
The thing is, they've always said the eyes are really the mirror to one's soul, or the window to one's soul, so.
And the thing about MLP is that the eyes are everyone really focuses on a lot.
It's interesting that you bring that up. I've done a lot of studying into art history, and it's kind of a big thing in my family. But one thing that we've learned about art is that when artists really wanted them to pay attention to their piece, when they wanted it to catch attention, catch someone off guard, they would have the eyes looking out at you and focused on a face. And they do the same thing with advertisements because our eyes naturally go to other eyes that are looking at our eyes. So it's interesting that you made that choice because I've got your page up on my laptop and I keep staring down into Luna's eyes and it's like I can't look away. But that's why.
It's not just in visual art. You hear it a lot in music, especially with lyrics. A lot of songs like to focus on the eyes.
Like The Who behind Blue Eyes.
Yes, I can recall a little Bill theme about the eyes. That record of the solo career of John Lennon. I can't remember the name, but maybe no, I can't. But it was a similar art choice of the faces and the eyes.
Full of my eyes.
Now Lunajax has already memorized all the words. Can we expect a cover soon?
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll find out soon enough.
Maybe you can record the Portuguese version of that.
Se calhar eu vou.
That would be great. We'd have the South American doing the North American version and the North American doing the South American version.
Oh, no. See, no, you got it wrong there. My Portuguese is from the mother country.
Oh.
Mother Portugal?
Mother Portugal.
So you're a Portuguese hipster.
Oh, I'm just a purist.
Oh, I see how it is.
I'm not even going to start on geography right now.
Don't.
Anyway.
I'm just completely blown away by Fritzy thinking Portugal wasn't in Europe right now. So
What?
No, he was thinking of
What?
Brazil.
I was thinking of Brazil.
oh, okay.
Were you really thinking of Brazil?
But our guest is from Argentina.
No. He was thinking that my Portuguese was Brazilian Portuguese.
Oh,
Yes.
Does that make sense? He understood geography.
I understand geography, guys. I'm not like Forrest or anything.
There are more Portuguese speakers in Brazil than there are in Europe, and so it makes sense that he would assume that that's the kind of Portuguese that I spoke.
this is true.
Tinder, I have a question. Public performances and stuff. Have you actually
I want to perform My Pony songs so badly, but I just can't find a place.
You should meet up with Gatto Paint sometime, and he'll find you a place.
Actually, yeah, that's actually a good idea.
I think so. I mean, he and Goonie at the moment are the two musicians, brony musicians that I have close at the moment.
I'm pretty sure Goonie's not hard to find since he lives in Argentina now.
You'd be surprised. They move him around about every 6 weeks.
That is true.
Really?
Yep,
Every 6 weeks? Wow.
just about. So he could be anywhere in the country.
Yeah, so when I see him, I think I will kidnap him.
Yes!
Don't take him away from us. We need him.
No, I need him in my recording studio.
Yes, it's like we just see collabs start coming out between Tenderflutter and Goonie, and then Goonies putting some little messages in each of the songs saying, "Help me, get me out, I'm trapped."
See, I think he'd agree to that, but I think he'd do it on the condition that you took the missionary lessons.
Probably.
You'd have to convert to Mormonism.
You know, that would probably be a good collaboration between you, Goonie, and Gatto Paint. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
You think so? Yeah.
I think so. I think it would be amazing. The three of you collabed. It would be awesome.
Just the three of us.
Try to convince him. I will be so glad to do.
So Tender, you talked about the inspiration behind the lyrics and the style that you did with Lil AJ, but with that song, what was the production like? Like, how did you go into producing it, mixing it, putting everything together? And by extension, you can also talk about some of your other songs and how you go into those ones as well.
Yeah, well, probably Lil AJ was the most hard, the most difficult in every way. The mixing and the actually playing the instruments was really hard because it's like a ballad, and the ballad when you're playing that in that tempo, the mistakes are more noticeable.
Oh, you mean when you're playing slower?
Yeah, that's what I meant. And well, I put quite a lot of work, especially in the last part on the instrumental. That was my first guitar solo too. I'm a keyboard player, and well, I also happen to have a guitar, but I never played live or recorded it.
It's very evident as you listen to that piece how much work really went into it. I mean, the rhythms are perfect. The mixing is perfect. You spent time in all of the parts of the producing process.
Really. it was very hard to me to finish that song.
So then you usually prefer to work in faster tempos then?
Actually, the fast tempos are fun, but I'm more like into the loud tempos. I don't know how to say it.
The loud tempos. That's great. I'm going to use that sometime. Like, the tempo needs to be louder.
20% louder.
20% louder. And then just look at everyone stare at me like, what?
I meant the slow tempos. Here.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making fun of you.
Yeah, you're so cruel.
Hey, that's not
I'm
nice.
sorry.
That's no nice.
It's okay. We do it because we love you.
See, I'm Canadian. I'll make fun of you and then I'll say sorry and everything's okay.
Oh yeah?
It's because Canadians are very easy to make fun of.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't make fun of my English.
No, because we talked about earlier how impressive your English is.
I'm making fun of you now.
uh,
But at least you aren't Canadian and saying a boot.
uh,
Gaint.
uh.
The nice attempt at Forest Rage.
I can do better.
No, this is awful. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take us into our next song break here.
Oh, goody.
Yep, because we need to get moving on. This next song is called Memories of You by our guest Tenderflutter. You are listening to Elements of Harmony on Canterlot Hill.
Ah!
Wow, that was really beautiful.
That was really good.
I painted quite a pretty picture, much like the picture that for the song is up. It was very atmospheric.
Well, speaking of the atmosphere, what I found really interesting about this song was it was just really subdued, calm, quiet, but then the strings were doing that tremolo bowing technique, and tremolo typically builds intensity, and I thought that was a really interesting contrast in this song.
Like it really gets you attached, and then it goes into a sorrow state.
It was very tender.
Oh, exactly.
That just
Yes.
made it's very
Ouch.
tender. That just made your heart flutter.
Wow.
Both of you get out.
No, I actually agree that
Yeah,
it works.
it's a very good descriptor of this song. I was so taken by the storytelling in this piece. It starts out with ominous atmosphere with this kind of, but a little bit dark quote. And you get sucked into this forest picture with the two ponies walking along together, and it's just this simplicity and sweetness that starkly contrasts against the ominous beginning part. I loved it. Told a glorious story.
Yeah, thanks. I think that I will explain the darky part. I think that the memories are a mixture between maybe the fear and love. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not in my own language. Excuse me.
No, that's a very deep and thoughtful explanation. That memories are a combination of fear and love, two very different emotions, but ever present in our minds.
Yeah, and especially talking about the memories of the people we have lost, or for any reason we can't get to see them.
Yeah.
Now, I am a huge fan of piano music, really soft piano music, stuff that creates an atmosphere like that, and that was absolutely beautiful. And I have to ask, is that something that you took a lot of time to compose and figure out all the notes, or was that something that you improvised?
It's more like an improvisation, and it didn't take me a long time to figure out how it will go. About the tremolo strings in this calm atmosphere, I took the idea from the Dead Island theme. Remember?
I'm not sure I know that one. Do you guys know that one?
I've heard it before. Yeah, I know what it's about. That I kind of back to that. I kind of remember that because I remember somebody was sending me some Dead Island music, and thinking back on that, I can see a lot of similarities in this.
Yeah, that was the place where I took the idea of the tremolo strings.
Well, the strings are like the low blow of emotional music.
Yeah, that's what I say to one of my subscribers down there in the comment section.
I'm just reading your comments here, and I agree with that. They're the low blow of emotional music.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Song description, you say that this is meant to be a instrumental to connect two vocal songs, Her Last Smile, and then into one that hasn't been released yet, Life in Pink. Is there anything you want to say about how this is going to build a bridge between those two songs?
the last part of the piano, it has a very, very similar phrase, maybe in another tone, tune of Life in Pink, chorus.
Just to continue the theme.
So we get a tiny little hint of what Life in Pink's gonna be like.
Exactly, and Life in Pink is gonna be a more happily song. You can imagine which pony I'm gonna feature there.
Ooh.
It's going to be Rainbow Dash, right?
Clearly.
Right.
No, Fluttershy, because the pink hair.
Obviously, it's going to be a Luna song, guys.
No cadence.
Oh, Cadence, because we need a pink princess.
Yes.
No, actually, it's Pinkie Pie.
Yes, Pinkie Pie.
I that was my next guess. I swear.
Of course.
I have a question. When you produce your music, do you usually find it easier to produce either through improvisation or more careful planning out of how the song's going to go? Like, do you have a specific process?
Well, usually everything comes out as an improvisation. Mainly in the piano. I sit in front of the piano and see how it comes out.
Oh, so it's just as much as an adventure for you.
Yeah, I think that I just sit down there, press the red button, and play.
I remember that used to be a really big thing in the fandom a while back, actually. Piano improvisations. I remember Ponyvization. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but he did a whole bunch way back in the day, and yeah, those are really pretty. I always enjoy those.
Yeah, I heard some of that back in the 2012 when I started, and yeah, maybe that was what pushed me into the pony music. Those piano improvisations I heard.
So then, with Memories of You being a link between two songs, does this mean that we are seeing an album soon?
Totally. Yeah, I
Woohoo!
I think that maybe in a month.
Ooh.
Say maybe.
That's okay, because this episode won't come out for a while, so you can say a month now, and then we can pretend that it was like a month since the episode came out, and you'll have tons of extra time.
Guys, the album comes out tomorrow.
Ah! You've set yourself up. The ball is rolling. It's too late.
So tomorrow at 10 p.m., join us for album release with Tenderflutter.
Wait. Is it really coming out tomorrow, or is it coming out when the episode airs?
Is this the
I'm so
future?
confused. What did you do?
I blame the doctor.
I blame Larsus's goldfish.
I blame time.
I blame the TARDIS.
So Tender, you mentioned that what you were really into was stuff like keys and guitar. What was it that you first started with? Was it playing the guitar, or was it playing on the piano?
What is your first instrument?
Yes.
My first instrument is the piano. I started when I was 10 years old.
Do you have classical training, or are you self-taught?
I have classical training and pop training, but with a professor.
Excellent. You can't ever have too much training.
No, never.
Did you ever take any music classes in college?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, you brought that up earlier, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, he got his degree in it.
And then I mentioned how colleges down there are clearly way better than the ones up here.
Have you been asleep?
Yes.
I can tell. We can all tell.
Do we need to zap you again?
So now we're going back to the first half of our show tonight. Tender, tell us a little bit about your college days.
Well, I studied like 5 years in a music institute.
5 years.
Yep,
Wow.
5 years.
Wow.
Although, actually, bringing it back to the Musical Institute, we didn't mention this earlier. What concentration in music did you focus on?
I beg your pardon?
Like, were you focusing on composing, performance, theory?
Oh, no, I focus in composing. I love composing. I spend most of my time trying to build up melodies than actually practicing any of the instruments I have.
Nice.
Well, it shows in your music. They're very solid melodies, and in the two songs that we've listened to tonight, you can tell how much work not only went into each of those songs, but the amount of work that you've invested in yourself to make yourself the quality musician that you are.
Oh, shucks.
No, but really, your work screams quality.
It really does show.
There's a reason that you're paid to perform.
Well, thank you.
Oh, and I think Forrest actually brought this up in a previous episode, but we brought up when we were featuring one of your songs on a live episode, that your first song, which was a Love is in Bloom piano pop cover, came out 2 years ago, I believe now, and it was really only up until, or it was 2014 when you really started releasing a lot of music. Was that sort of you just dabbling in the fandom at first and then getting into it, like, full force later, or?
No, I had 2013 years that didn't allow me to make music.
But you're making music now.
Yep, everything's good now.
Woo! And it's great. So when can we expect your next concert where U2 opens for you?
Oh man, I don't know. I think I had to talk with Get to Paint and kidnap Goonie.
Yes, you get on that.
Actually, I mean, a Tenderflutter, Gato Paint, and Goonie concert would be pretty freaking amazing, I gotta say.
I just said that before, but yes.
I would go to it.
Say to wake up.
Unfortunately, Argentina is a really big country, though.
Yeah.
It's like as big as Texas. It's huge.
Is it really?
Bigger than Texas. Come on.
Bigger than
Yeah.
Texas, you guys.
Is it really? I didn't know. I knew it was a big country, but I didn't think it was actually bigger than Texas.
Oh, it's definitely bigger than Texas.
So I'm sure this is a consensus among us, but we are in love with your songs, and I think it would be appropriate to feature a third one before we finish.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Go for it, Fritzy.
And now we'll be rolling into our third featured song from Tenderflutter. This is The Lost Ones. You are listening to Elements of Harmony on Canterlot Hill.
When I close my eyes, I got nothing to regret. For someday I'll find what I didn't find today. On the rising moon, I prop up my mortal dreams, and my ego heart keeps hauling. Where do I go now? What if I fall? Dusty past mountain is in your heart. When I'm lost, but I'm still walking, and it hurts, but keep on fighting. You say you die, so never move on. And the sun will shine for you. I don't want to shine or bring honor to my house. I don't want my friends to pat my shoulder. I was born to see what nobody else can see. I refuse to quit. I'm not a loser. Where do I go now? What if I fall? Dusty past mountain is in your heart. When I'm lost, but I'm still walking, and it hurts, but keep on fighting. You say you die, so never move on. And the sun will shine for you. And the sun will shine for you. Today I'm lost, tomorrow no one knows. Someday I'll find what I'm looking for. 'Cause I am strong and brave enough. I know my dreams will prevail.
Brilliant. Just brilliant, I say.
Now that we have been there, let's go into the tech talk. And if our guest is okay with it, we would like to talk a little bit about keyboards in the production process?
Keyboards in this song.
Yeah. Well, just in general, we always
Well, general, not this song.
yeah, we always have a little portion of the podcast at the end where we go into tech talk just to talk a little bit about the actual production process of music to educate our listeners.
Oh, well, okay.
And today the topic is the magic of keyboards.
Keyboard.
Okay, that was dangerously close to the DuckTales theme song. Anyway, Tenderflutter. So, tell us you have a lot of training in keyboards. Tell us a little bit about how you usually integrate them into your music.
Well, keyboards are like the heart of my production process because aside of the guitar, everything went through my old but reliable Roland Juno D. Juno DI.
Ooh. Like, you put everything through that?
Yep. Everything like obviously the pianos and pads, but the bass and drums too went through the keyboard.
Like MIDI through kind of thing, or
Sometimes MIDI and sometimes not.
okay.
Oh, wow, so the keyboard really is the center of a lot of your music, aside from the guitar. So then, how does that usually affect you? Do you think it affects your music positively, being go through the keyboard all the time?
No, actually not. Actually, no, I have to be honest. One of the things I really want so bad to buy is a bass, a real bass.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the aids and the mainly for the slides. It's a really hard thing to do in the keyboard, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a little question, I know that has a lot of built-in reverb and vocoder effects. Do you ever use additional software to the keyboard for vocoders or anything, or do you just do it all through the keyboard?
No, I put let me think. For the orchestral section, for example, I use the Miroslav Philharmonic. That's a great VST.
Okay.
So do you usually hook your keyboard directly up to what is your preferred DAW actually? I don't think I know that.
Cubase.
Cubase.
Nice.
Yep.
And that's really compatible with your keyboard then, and the MIDIs.
Exactly.
Do you use that for your guitar as well?
The Cubase, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, the Cubase too.
That's interesting. I don't think I've ever really talked with anybody who uses Cubase for anything.
Really?
For anything other than like electronic music.
Well, it was the first DAW I learned how to use, so I think that's the reason.
No, actually, it was the first DAW that I've ever used. Just I don't have it on my computer currently because I'm cheap, but yeah.
So I actually don't think I know that much about Cubase. Can you tell us a little bit about Cubase and how it's different from other DAWs?
No, I can't.
You can't.
Okay.
It has a thing you can set tracks and record, and you can run VSTs and mix and all that. It's a DAW.
It's a DAW.
Dog.
No, I free loops. Actually, I tried free loops before Cubase, but I learned Cubase first, so I don't know how to compare Cubase with another DAWs.
Well, yeah, as they say, the DAW that you use really doesn't matter so long as you know how to use it.
Yeah, I think that's the key of the question.
What interface do you use to connect your guitar up to the computer?
And keyboard. And other things.
Well, yeah. Because we've got a little thing going on with Elements of Harmony with the brands of our audio interfaces, and I'm just a little curious what you're using.
I use a Behringer Scenics, and In the DAW, I forgot to mention, I use the Amplitude 3 for my electric guitar.
Okay.
Okay. Well, not a focus, right? We lost that sponsorship tonight. That's okay.
Yeah, I guess we can't have you back.
So much for that. At least we got the mini fridge sponsorship.
Yeah, we still have that. So do you record your electric guitars any differently than you record your acoustic guitars?
Yeah, I record the acoustic guitar via an open microphone. I don't know how to put it in English.
No, that works.
Awesome. Well, you're pretty fantastic.
Why, thank you.
Yes, you are pretty fantastic. Actually, I do want to say, when I first found your music, I'm not entirely sure when I first found it. I think it was when you released, might have been when you released The Lost Ones or Voice of the Everfree Forest. But I was absolutely blown away. And that one song, The Lost Ones, still, it makes me feel so good when I listen to it.
Totally.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Tender, you had mentioned that you really wish that you had a real bass to record so that you wouldn't have to be doing it through the keyboard because of slides and stuff. However, which would you rather have in a band or in your recording studio? Would you rather have a bass or a bass player or a mini fridge?
A mini fridge.
Oh!
Yeah.
He didn't even give any conditions.
No.
Wow.
No!
Just a straight mini fridge.
I really want to have the bass because I want to learn how to play the bass. I'm musical curious.
Mm-hmm.
And Applejack cries in the corner.
You just gave me the title for a song that I'm going to do this next month. It's going to be called Musical Curious.
Wow, that's great.
Nice.
Fantastic. I will credit you.
Yes.
So, Tender, what words of advice do you have for others who are new into music?
Well, study a lot, read and listen music, and go straight for their dreams.
All right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
None of us like studying, but
Well, speak for yourself.
I'm not book horse.
But thank you, Tender, for coming on our show. I understand that, since English isn't your first language, that this is probably quite the challenge for you a bit. But I think you did very well for the first time ever speaking with an English interview.
Oh, yeah, you killed it, man.
You really did.
Well, thank you.
Fizeste muito bem.
Muchas gracias, chicos. Oh, let me say hi to my friends back in Argentina.
Hi, Tender's friends.
Hello.
Well, they're quite a lot. Maybe they're in the chat right now.
Maybe.
Oh, good. Wow, you even saw into the future to see that.
He's clairvoyant.
Yes. If this is the future,
Well.
where's my jetpack?
Well, once again, thank you so much for coming out on our show tonight. And for those of you listening, don't forget to tune into the other great programs on Canterlot Hill. On Thursdays, we have Sketchy Sounds Live Songcast at 4 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., we have Equestria Unlimited. On Fridays, we have Luna Beats with Cloud Zephyr at 2 p.m. And then the last Saturday of every month, we have Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack. And also on Saturdays at 5 p.m. is Razor Radio.
You forgot to mention about PVL.
Yes, thank you, that. A shout out to our syndication over at PVL. Don't forget to check out their great programs as well. And all of these times are in Eastern. Until next time, this has been
Fritzy B.
Luna Jax.
Snowblitz.
Zeta.
and Starlight. Good night, everybody.